So we're getting into the heart of earnings reporting season, guys. Worth having a look at a few interesting names coming up after the close tonight. And we're not talking about forecasting anything. We're just having a conversation on Twitter. This is Snap and Intel, because three names that are set to report again after market tonight that are going to be worth a look both during the report and also tomorrow morning when we come in. More excitingly, hopefully, will give us some opportunities.
Absolutely, and we'll talk about one of those names there at Intel. If you're watching the chip space recently, you've seen NVIDIA with a split, you've seen AMC be a popular name, and a couple of things to get out of the way here. I mean, Intel's beat like 9 quarters in a row, but the truth of the matter is, and I'm going to point out this day here because when they last reported, yeah, did they beat? I mean, they continuously have beaten and had made a bit of a comeback, and this is because they're doubling down on their manufacturing and their foundry play that they want to be manufacturing chips for others, which has been look, manufacturing has been a bit of a bit of a problem for them, and you're going to see it was a negative reaction to earnings. It's been doing absolutely nothing since. So, look, are they going to need to beat the expectations of 106 EPS and 18 bill by a lot? Yeah, I think so. I mean, unless you get better than the previous, like I guess a year ago, they were like $1.25. I think they'd have to break that to beat that 59 number. What you really need to be looking for is it's all about their client computing and data center. If they don't see a strong quarter there, they're going to get beaten up. If you get good price action, keep in mind the sexier names that people have been interested in, that NVIDIA and AMD, who have taken advantage of Intel's recent, I guess, lethargic movement or weakness. They're the names that, if there's a move to the upside, might be a little bit more outsized there because strength in the space could lean towards that direction. So there are some good things here, though, for Intel. Of course, they still have a dividend. Relatively speaking, they're going to be cheap. At least in terms of a value to growth perspective to the other names around in the space. But I just can't necessarily see, unless they blow things out of the water and just have the rosiest metrics of all time, I'm just not seeing too much that's going to get you to that upside, because they've beaten before and you see what happened. It was about, just to give you an idea of what the decline was, it was a 3-day decline into that 10% range. And then we basically have barcoded since then. Barcoding mean gone absolutely nowhere. So, the expectations are high for Intel. That's why they would have to have a monster beat to break out from here. But hey, for the optimist out there, look at that chart. If we do break out, there is certainly room to run on Intel. They're just really going to have to impress with those numbers, especially data center.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one today as we really just kick off with all these big names coming through. And I'm going to look at Snapchat here. And of course, Snapchat is one of those names that, hey, look, they're only looking for a few different metrics here, and that's going to be, average daily users, and then the revenue coming from average daily users, both active users, right? That's the key. Just how many people are actually on their platform every single day, right? So right now, year over year, we're actually expecting an ARPU, which is ARPU, stands for the average revenue per user, of over 53% growth in that space alone. So that may be a target that's a little hard to hit. They hit their targets and beat them last earnings, and we were down to 57.30 there. This is the earnings date, April 21st. So we get a move from 57 up to 64, 65 in the next couple days before coming to the downside. We did see other tech names start to report their last Q1, and we saw that start to come to the downside. So they did fall with other tech heavyweights, but then they just get beat, they just beat up every other name, come right back to the upside to near now all-time highs. I think Snapchat does have a very strong Q3 behind them here. We'll see what happens. That was last time they beat 146 year-over-year percentage gain in Snapchat, 146% year-over-year gain in the equity, beating the S&P, actually, not the NASDAQ. S&P only 32%, still an amazing gain. I just think Snapchat here, with the pandemic, with a lot of people at home and basically just stuck on their screens, I think they are going to have more active users. So that spurns revenue from ads, right? So the more active users these guys can come up with, the more they can charge for ads, the more vision they can get on said ads. And that's what they're all about, right? So without any other products, the Snapchat goggles and glasses and all that really aren't taking off. So we'll have to wait to see, do they have other things in mind, right? Do they have other revenue streams in mind? Talking about Twitter's coming out as well. Twitter, they're going to talk about monetizing and trying to monetize up some of their avenues, right? They're going to talk about tips and things like that. They do have that opportunity there with tips, where you can go ahead and tip different different users of Twitter, different accounts. So we'll see if they can monetize again as well. But look at Twitter on the daily chart. I mean, just back in November, 41. We're at 69 right now. So also outperforming the market. So look, this should be a good little run for all three of these companies, but it's very interesting that they're starting it off right now as NASDAQ's near all-time highs and a lot of these companies also approaching that same level. So should be an exciting one here for all three, Intel, Snap, and Twitter.
We are still relatively early in the reporting season. 15%, as of right now, guys, 15% of the S&P have reported. 88% of those have beat on the Q2 reports, which is actually at the high end of the range of what we typically see. So when it comes to Intel, Snap, and Twitter, what is to come, we will see after market tonight. Join us tomorrow for the aftermath. Guys, here's Valeria.
Hey guys, thank you for this interesting discussion. Dear viewers, please subscribe to this channel to see more great videos.